All right, so welcome everyone. Good evening, and welcome back to another segment of news you can use. So, I am Mya Henry, and I'm so happy to be here with you guys today, as usual. So, today's Monday, July 17th, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys the latest trends, news, topics, tips. That way, you guys can stay ahead of the game, especially if you apply them right away. So, without further ado, prepare yourself for a very informative session that will empower you to have an edge as you are building your business. So let's get started. Okay, so jumping right into it, 43 million US millennials report that they're living paycheck to paycheck. So unlike in the classic tune, summertime doesn't necessarily mean that the living is easy. So, researchers found a number of important correlations between geography and demography, and who is struggling to stretch paychecks to meet expenses and why. So, among the more surprising findings is the number of relatively high earnings millennials and bridge millennials struggling to pay bills despite often healthy paychecks. So many millennials are beginning to make larger expenditures for the first time, whether that means purchasing a car, taking out a mortgage, or preparing financially to have children. And these are all life-changing events that sometimes they can be difficult to manage. It follows that millennials would be more likely than all other generations to report living paycheck to paycheck. There are 71 million millennials in the US, and 43 million of them are living paycheck to paycheck. That compares to an average of 49% of consumers of all generational groups reporting such issues. Millennials in South Central and Northeast states are even more cash strapped than most, noting that 71% and 69% of millennials living in South Central and Northeast regions, respectively, are now living paycheck to paycheck. So, obviously, there's millions of Americans living paycheck to paycheck, struggling to make ends meet. And that sounds extremely stressful and far from what should be considered normal. It's clear that these people are working jobs and something isn't adding up if you still have to live paycheck to paycheck. Just another reason why people should start working for themselves. And here at our company, it's a great commence to start doing so, even if you have zero experience, because at the end of the day, everyone starts somewhere, and being in control of your own destiny is better than putting it into the hands of somebody else, right? Another thing that I want to share with you guys, how many Gen Zers and millennials are seeking financial independence. So why does it matter? More than half of Gen Zers and millennials are still financially dependent on their parents. And many don't feel too good about it. So, with two-thirds saying that they feel ashamed when asking their parents for financial support. For many, having an established credit history is key to feeling more financially independent. So, I'm going to share a few statement with you guys. That way you guys can have a better understanding as to what I'm speaking about. So Gen Z are ages 18 to 26 and millennials are ages 27 to 42, right? So 61% of Gen Zers are and 47% of millennials are saying that they're somewhat or very financially dependent on their parents. Now, these are people that are already grown, you guys. Like these are adults saying that, yeah, like they still are financially dependent on their parents. 62% of Gen Zers and 70% of millennials say that they feel ashamed when they have to ask their parents for financial support. 28% of Gen Zers and 27% of millennials saying that they do not consider their parents to be good financial role models, while 77% of Gen Zers and 84% of millennials say that having an established credit history is more important to being less financially dependent on their parents. And 58% of Gen Z and 56% of millennials are also saying that they have a hard time saying no to themselves when they're making impulse purchases. 58% of Gen Zers and 55% of millennials say that they're considering cutting down on their online entertainment subscriptions to save money. And lastly, 63% of Gen Zers and 59% of millennials say that they prefer to spend money on life experiences like traveling, concerts, etc. now rather than saving for retirement. In addition to limited experience with credit, Gen Z and millennials' spending habits may be another factor causing them to rely on their parents for financial support. More than half, which is 57%, say that they have a hard time saying no to themselves when they're making an impulse purchase for something that they want but don't need. So this is a struggle that anyone can relate to, if not everyone can relate to. So these are, like I said, these are struggles that anyone can go through. And you guys, the data that I just shared really speaks volumes because, like I mentioned, people are adults and they're still financially relying on their parents. And based on the information that I just shared, it's obvious that people need to learn financial literacy because you don't know how the money game works until a professional takes their time and teaches you. And that's just one of the few things that we teach here. And it's another benefit of working with our company. You get to learn how the money game works. And not only that, you get to learn how you can make your money work for you. Another thing that I want to share with you guys is how the average American feels like they need over 200,000 a year to be financially comfortable. So from stubborn inflation to rising interest rates, it's exceptionally expensive to have a shaky personal financial situation in 2023. But in today's era, it costs a lot to be financially comfortable as well. So Americans feel that they need to earn approximately 233,000 a year on average to be secure or comfortable with their finances. To be rich and achieve financial freedom, Americans say that they need to make about 2 times more, which is roughly 483,000 on average. So both numbers are significantly larger than the average earnings full-time year-round workers made in 2021, which was 75,000, right? So Americans' income needs highlight mounting affordability challenges that households are facing when it comes to growing their wealth, a problem that many were navigating long before inflation skyrocketed in the aftermath of the pandemic. More money may seem like it may beget more financial success at a time when college tuition has more than doubled on, and the median home prices, when adjusted for inflation, has climbed 40% over the past 20 years. On the flip side, Americans' buying power, judged by their personal income, has climbed a smaller 21% pace since 2003. Structural or long-term changes have been injurious to Americans' ability to manage their personal finances, where there was a time in the United States when a married couple with children could get by with a single wage earner in the household. Those days are mostly vestiges of the past, says Mya Henry, Bankrate Senior Economic Analyst. So let me share with you guys a few takeaways on Americans' path to financial freedom. Americans are more than 2 times more likely to feel financially insecure than secure. Slightly more than 1 in 4, which is 28% of Americans, say that they're completely financially secure. That compares with the majority, which is 72%, who says that they are not financially secure, which includes 26% who expect that they'll never be completely financially secure. So you guys just heard what I said. So it's 28% of Americans who say that they're completely financially secure and 72% who say that they're not. That's a huge gap, you guys. And then you have 26% who are saying that they don't expect to ever be financially secure. And that's crazy to me. US economic factors are overwhelmingly keeping Americans from feeling financially secure. So, more than 3 in 5 financial insecure Americans, or 63%, say that high inflation is keeping them from being financially comfortable or secure, along with 48% who blame the economic environment more broadly, and 36% who pointed to rising interest rates. Americans' personal finances are also interfering with their financial comfort. About 2 in 5 each blamed insufficient retirement funds. So 2 in 5 is around 41%. And they also blame emergency funds as factors from keeping them from feeling financially secure. More than 1 in 4 blamed high or revolving debt and renting instead of owning or housing affordability. Highlighting wealth gaps and varying costs of living, many Americans feel they need even more pay than the national average. So women on average say that they need to earn roughly 237,000 annually to be comfortable, and about 502,000 a year to feel rich, which is nearly 37,000 or 8% more than men. The average income that Black Americans, baby boomers, Generation Xers, as well as Northeastern and Westerners say that they need to feel both comfortable and rich is also larger as well. So, you guys, it's like a majority of the information that I share with you guys ties back to how a job isn't the best option if you want to be financially secure, which I've been saying in my previous sessions, which are also uploaded to this channel as well, so you guys can check it out. And it's like, when are people going to open their eyes and realize that a job won't cut it, especially in today's day and age? And it's the reason why I put so much emphasis on working for yourself and getting into business for yourself. If you're serious about reaching financial freedom and financial security, which everybody should be. And like I said, our company offers everybody the opportunity to get started working for themselves and to start making uncapped income and to start getting paid with your worth. Because let's be real, you're not worth 18 an hour. You're not worth 16, 18, $20 an hour, you guys. So start getting serious about yourself and start getting serious about your finances. All right, so you guys heard it here. And I said it once, but I'll say it again. People need financial literacy and they need to understand how money works. If you lack those things, I doubt that you can make it far financially. People need to start getting into business for themselves and working for themselves and really decide to take a chance on themselves because it's worth it. There's more to life than living paycheck to paycheck. And most of all, you can have a life where you don't need to struggle to make ends meet. You can have a life where you can be financially independent and not have to depend on your parents at a grown age financially. It's possible. It's possible. And here you have an opportunity to get started and create that life and create the life you know you deserve and create a life that you know your kids deserve. So, with that being said, you guys, reach out to me if you're interested in learning and creating a life where you don't have to work so hard for your money and start making your money work for you. So I'm Mya Henry, and this